Hi Flosstube, it's Lindsay and welcome back to Blushing Pink Stitches and Happy New Year. Cannot believe that it's 2025 already. I feel like 2024 just flew by, but maybe that's just a symptom of being an adult, that the years just fly by basically. Yeah, so Happy New Year. I hope you all had a lovely festive period, got to spend some lovely time with your family and got a little bit of stitching in perhaps. We had a lovely festive period, and we went away in between Christmas and New Year to Disneyland Paris with Bella. It was a big surprise for her and it was really, really lovely. So I'll talk more about that when I do like a regular Flosstube update, because today is going to be my end of 2024 WIP parade. And I'm also going to be talking about goals that I have for 2025 as well, because there are some projects amongst my WIPs that I didn't touch at all in 2024. And whilst that is okay, I did think this year actually I do want to try and go for something in 2025, and I kind of felt like setting myself goals at the end of 2024 really helped me to focus on what I wanted to do. So I have got a video up where I talk about projects that I want to finish in 2025 and projects that I'd like to start in 2025. So I'll leave that linked in the description box below, but it is just the last video on my channel. So if you want to go and watch that and have a little look at what I'm going to be starting and finishing, then it's all there. I will include the projects that I want to finish in the WIP parade, because otherwise it would be a full WIP parade. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing today. Not sure how long this is going to take. I have 60 projects, I think. Yeah, I wrote out my new WIP list for 2025, and there are a few on there that are going to be restarts, and I'll talk about those as we go through. Maybe it's 59 actually, because I started one yesterday for my New Year new start. So I think it might be 59. I am going to be doing this in date order. So I'm going to go from my oldest WIP to my newest WIP. And for everyone, I'm going to be telling you what the goal is for this year. It is a goal. It's something to aim for. It's not necessarily something I'm going to be telling myself off for if I don't reach it at the end of the year. This is a hobby. Nobody's going to be holding me to account apart from myself, basically. And if I sound a little bit nasally or a little bit throaty, it's because I've caught a cold. Bella had a cold the whole time that we were in Disney. She basically arrived with the cold. And I suppose I was kind of lucky to have not caught it before. But yesterday, we had some family round for New Year's Day, and after I'd finished cooking dinner, I kind of felt like, oh, I'm a little bit sneezy. Yeah, and I just didn't feel right. So I went to bed really early last night. Yeah, I've dosed myself out with paracetamol. But I really wanted to get this filmed today. I said to Stefan last week, I need to film my WIP parade on the 2nd of January. I like doing it on the 1st, but we had family around yesterday, so that wasn't possible. Just because I want it to be, you know, a good indicator of where everything was at the beginning of the year. And I've only worked on my new start yesterday. I didn't work on any of my regular WIPs. So this is literally where everything is at the end of 2024. So, yeah, Stefan and Bella have gone out. They've got some jobs to do this morning, and then Stefan is taking Bella to the zoo for a little while. So I've got a few hours to myself to get this done, basically. I don't know whether I should reintroduce myself again. I know that, you know, it's WIP parade season, and so people watch WIP parades of Flosstubers that are new to them. So my name's Lindsay. I live in the UK. I've been cross-stitching since I was 16. And sort of periodically picked it back up again. And then after Bella was born, I probably picked it up like with a real vengeance again in 2021. Discovered Flosstube, and the rest, as they say, is history. So I used to be, when I first started my channel, I was pretty much a monogamous stitcher, and then Flosstube just has all the influence. But I'm not mad about it. In fact, Dawn Marie was saying the other day on like her most recent update that she likes like adding to her WIP pile, because then she's got like loads of things to do when she retires, and I really like that idea. And I know that people like talk about stash enhancement for retirement, and again I think that's a lovely idea as well. So yeah, I'm not mad about it at all. I love having all of this choice. I love working on all of my projects. So yeah, I have a real mix of projects, as you'll see as we go along. So yeah, I thought I'd make tea in a like a flask. It's not a flask, but you know what I mean, today, so that it doesn't go cold and I can keep drinking it as we do this video. So let's start. The WIP number 1 on my list, I'm going to be flicking back and forth in my planner. I've got my phone with some info on it, so just bear with me. This is Forever and Ever. It's by Cottage Garden Samplings. I started this on the 1st of June 2022, and I'm stitching this with Vicky from the Virginia Stitcher. Well, it was like everything, when I say I'm stitching this, you know, it's not a stitch along, it's a start along really, because yeah, I can't keep up with stitch alongs. So yeah, I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count pearl grey even weave, and I'm using all of the call for threads, which are Weeks Dye Works. Whereas if you go and look at Vicky's version, she's stitching it all in DMC, so you'll be able to see the difference. Let's just fold this over. And this is where I got up to. So I did work on this year. I don't know, I haven't written down how many days I've worked on things. Maybe I'll do that for next year. But I did work on it this year. And if you watch my finish video, this is one that I would like to finish in 2025, just because it's one of my oldest WIPs. It's not a full coverage, so it is achievable for me to finish this year. So yeah, there you go. So I've sort of got out 10 WIPs at a time, so I'll need to pause and get more out, and yeah. Just otherwise I'll have too many piles everywhere. Let's get this out. I can lean things on that. Okay, second WIP is a kit. This is by Mermaids and it's called Daydreaming. And it's of this really beautiful fox in like a meadow of grass and flowers. I started this on the 16th of July 2022. I'm using all the kit materials. So it came with Ivory Ada, 16 count Ivory Ada, and it's DMC threads, and they come on these cards. And this is where we've got to with this one. Oh, I'm dropping things already. So yeah, again, I think I did work on this year. I think I did. I put little pink marks. Oh no, I didn't. No, I didn't work on it this year. Maybe I didn't. I don't know. Anyway, this is where we're at. So I'm just working on finishing off the first page. And in fact, my goal for this year is to finish the first page. There are 4 pages to this pattern. So I think the first page And oh, I don't have it on me, but you know, you've got the rest of this bit here to do. I can't remember how far it goes down, but I've done like the majority of it anyway. So I'd like to finish that off this year. We'll see how we get on with that. Okay. I'm going to be putting things back because otherwise it's just going to be a total mess in here. Okay, this one I need to take off the Q-snap. This one is my Focus full coverage project. So I stitch 100 stitches on it every single day, sometimes more. So this is super size, max colour, a stitching shelf. The artwork is by Amy Stewart and the charter is Heaven and Earth Designs. So this is very familiar to lots of my subscribers. So this year I stitched 81,727 stitches. So in total I have 162,471 stitches and I'm at 22.78%. I think I'm going to be doing before photos for the full coverages, or perhaps for everything in general. If I've worked on it this year, I will have put a before photo on it from the end of 2023. If I haven't worked on it, then it won't go up there. And of course, there are lots of projects that I've started this year, so they won't have before photos. So yeah, I'll put a picture up on the screen of where you saw it the last time, and I'm going to be taking this off the Q-snap just because I do want you to see the whole photo, the whole of the project. I have completed, I think I put on Instagram that I completed 9 pages of the pattern this year, and I have 6 and a bit pages to do to finish the shelf. So I'm going to show all of this. Okay, this is where we're up to. So I'm just working on finishing off this page down here, and then I have 6 pages to go on this shelf, and then it'll be done and I can move on to the next one. So I think at the start of the year I was working on this page up here. So yeah, that's how far we have got. It's so big, it's so difficult for me to show, and now I can't see whether you can see it all or not. Yeah, you can. So it's absolutely beautiful and I love it. So you can see, let's bring it up close so you can see some of the details. So yeah, I did a top left start. I'm stitching this on 25 count 1/1 full cross, and that is the case for all of my full coverages. There might be some differences in colour, but that's about it. So yeah, I was on this page here. So all of this across here is new. That's how far we've got. So yeah, I do stitch on this 100 stitches a day, but I did have a monogamous month this year, just like I did the previous year. And there were some extra challenges that I did, which meant that this got more. So, for example, I was doing the medal challenge for the Olympics, so stitching a number of stitches in here depending on how many medals Team GB got. So yeah, so that is where we're at with that one. So the goal for this one for 2025 is to get to the end of the first shelf, and because I did 9 pages in 2024, I feel like that is totally achievable. So I don't know whether I'm going to have a monogamous month this year. Part of me was thinking maybe I'll have like monogamous periods where I like just work on it until I finish a page. but I don't know. Let me know what you think. Should I have another can't say it now. Should I have another monogamous month, or shall I do like monogamous weeks and try and finish pages off? Or yeah, I don't really know. I'm not really sure. But yeah, like I said, that shelf is going to be done this year. Okay, sorry about that. I had like a massive sneezing fit. So we're back. WIP number 4 is Autumn Montage. This is artwork by Janet Stever, and it is charted by Pain Free Crafts. Have all 4 of these on the go. I started this one on the 24th of September 2022. Again, 25 count, even weave, 1/1 full cross. This year I put in 1,304 stitches for a total of 4,963 stitches, and I'm at 3.34%. So you'll have seen a picture on the screen of where it was at, and this is where it's at now. So I did manage to finish a page this year, which I was very pleased with. So yeah, I know some people are working these in sections, but I like finishing pages. So yeah, that's where we've got to with that one. And the goal for this, keep dropping things. The goal for this one is to get to 5% by the end of the year. So we're at 3.34% now. So I do think that is doable in 2025. Yeah, in 2022, it was at 2.47%. So I feel like a couple of thousand stitches and that will be done. Oh God. I mean, honestly, kids and passing on germs. I feel like I've been really lucky. And she hasn't picked up too much at preschool and things like that, but anyway, okay. This next one is Feline Force 2. It's artwork by Sophie Wilkins, and this Kayli from the sewing shop charted this for me as a private favour, basically. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I didn't work on it this year, so this is the only one of my full coverages that is on gridded fabric. I don't really use gridded fabric. I don't see the need to. It doesn't help me in any way, so I don't. I started in the middle on this one, so I had no progress on this. So this is currently sitting at 7,379 stitches, and I'm at 6.15%. And this is where we're at. So the goal for this one is to... I didn't say, I started this one on the 3rd of October 2022, and the goal for this one is to finish her face. So yeah, I'd quite like to get the whole of her face completed this year. I feel like it needs some extra love because I didn't work on it in 2024. So yeah, that needs a big bit of progress to get that going. Okay, next up is Dark Cinderella, artwork by Barrett Biggers, and again charted by Pain Free Crafts. I started this one on the 21st of November 2022, and again I didn't work on it last year, so it's currently at 2,008 stitches and 0.8% 90%. And that's where we're at. So the goal for this one is to finish the first page. So I feel like maybe I've done about a third of it. So yeah, I think that's achievable. Let's put something there in order to remind me of, there you go, where that page is. So yeah, that's that one. This next one is Flea Market Flowers. This is by Laurie Holt. I started this as a stitch along with Laurie from Once Upon a Stitch, and she's long since finished hers. So this is going to be a project for me to finish in 2025. I'm going to be doing a block a month. So I'm stitching this on 32 count white, I think, is this linen? It might be linen. I think it's linen, yeah. Using all of the called for DMC. I don't know whether I worked on it this year, can't remember. But this is where we're at now. So I've done 4 of the blocks. I think I've got either 12 or 13 to go. So yeah, we're going to be finishing that one this year. Okay, number 8 is Christmas Bears, and this is by Owl Forest Embroidery. Okay. I started this one on the 9th of December 2022, but it was a restart. I had started it I think at the end of 2021, but I cut the fabric wrong and things weren't lining up properly, and I just chucked it in and thought I'm going to start it again. So this one is being stitched on a piece of 32 count summer khaki linen. I'm using all the called for DMC. Do you believe that did I work on it this year? I can't remember. If I did work on it this year, there'll be a before picture. Let's just turn this over. This is where we're at now. So I've got about 40% of the pattern done. So again, this is on the finish list for this year, and I want to get 5% done a month. Yeah, this isn't Pattern Keeper, so that was useful. Yeah. There we go. Number 9 is another Montage by Janet Stever. This one is upside down, Winter Montage. I started this one on the 26th of December 2022. I don't believe I worked on it this year, no. So I've done 5,307 stitches and it's at 3.52%. That's where we're at. So the first page is done, but I didn't work on it this year. So far as well, all of my full coverages that I've talked about have been are being stitched in DMC. That does vary later on. Okay, last one for this first section is Supersize Max Colour Santa's Workshop. The artwork's by Thomas Kincaid and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I worked loads on this year. So this year I've put in 10,761 stitches, for a total of 17,170 stitches. That was the letterbox, sorry. And I'm at 2.58%. And I would have put a picture up on the screen of where it was. Again, this one's hard to show because I worked to the first row of 10 by 10 blocks. So put my chair back. No, a little bit more. There you go. So I completed the first row this year, last year, sorry, and this year I'm going to be going down, all the way down to the bottom, on this row of 10 by 10 blocks here. So yeah, is that one? And did I say when I started that? I started that one on the 21st of January 2023. Okay, so I'm going to reset, get out my next 10 and come back. Okay, we're back. Next one on the list is Wonderlust. This is artwork by Ritika Aurora and it's charted by me. So you can find this in my shop. Let's have a little look. I didn't work on this year, so this is currently at 2,390 stitches and 2.60%. So I started top middle because it's a circle. That's that one. This is ridiculous. Oh God. Why is it? Oh God, I've had so many sneezing fits in this video already and I'm only on WIP number 12. It's just ridiculous. Anyway, this is Spring Montage. I started this one on the 26th of March 2023. Did I work on this one? No. So this is currently at 2,295 stitches and I'm at 1.55%. Oh, I didn't tell you my goal for Wonderlust. Wonderlust, I want to get it to 5,000 stitches, and Spring Montage, I would like to finish the first page. So this is where we're at with Spring Montage. Okay, next up is the Shire Painting. This is by an Etsy shop called Thread of Magic, but I don't think they're there anymore. And I started this one on the 2nd of April 2023. I did work on it this year. I added 1,009 stitches, so it's at 3,374 stitches and 3.23%. So that is what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. And there will be a before picture on the screen. And this is where it's at now. And the goal for this one is to finish the first page. Okay, this is a kit. I started this with my friend Debbie on Instagram. She started a different Riolis hedgehog kit. She's long since finished hers. This is hedgehogs in lingonberries. I'm using all the kit materials. So it came with, did it say on here, 14 count white Ada, and it's using like a wool acrylic thread. I don't think I worked on it this year. So this is where it's at the moment. And I wrote down that I wanted to finish the first hedgehog, so he comes up and round here, I think. So I'd quite like to finish him off this year. Next up is another full coverage. This is Little Ocean. The artwork is by Morgana Fantasy AI, and it is charted by me too. So again, you can find this on my website. I didn't work on it this year. So this is currently at 2,209 stitches and 1.10%. And that's where it's at. So the goal for this one is to get it to 5,000 stitches. So yeah, another just under 3,000 stitches. Maybe that will finish the first page, I don't know. This one here is Moon Hair. It's artwork by Suzanne Geisman, and I got the chart out of a couple of different issues of the World of Cross Stitching magazine. I have a spreadsheet in my description box with all of my WIPs on and any information that you need, so the issue numbers will be on that spreadsheet. So I don't think I worked on it this year. It's not on that list anyway. I don't think I did. So this is where it's currently at. I do have a saga file for this now. One of my subscribers recently, or maybe it was in the summer, maybe it wasn't recently, sent me a saga file for it. So that's going to make it much easier for me to work on. And I think I put down, yeah, that I wanted to complete the second row of 10 by 10 blocks. So I did the first row. Yeah, so I want to complete the second row. So that's that one. This one is Christmas Village Afghan by Stony Creek. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. I don't think I worked on this either. So this is being stitched on a piece of 25 count even weave, but I'm doing it over 2. I'm using all of the called for DMC, and there's some Krynic in it as well. I haven't started using that yet, but yeah, I think I completed 3 pages of what I could because I was missing some threads. So I can't remember whether it's 3 or 5 or 6 pages across. It's 5 pages across. So my goal for this one is to complete the missing stitches on pages 1, 2 and 3, and then complete page 4. So yeah, that's what we're going to do on that one. Yeah, I have an absolutely massive bag of threads. This is one bag, and then this is like the Krynic, so there's loads of DMC for that. This next one is Disney characters. It was from an Etsy shop called Cross Stitch M Patterns. I started this one on the 24th of the of June 2023. This year I put in 409 stitches, so I'm at 2,121 stitches and 0.30%. So you would have seen it before. This is it now. And this one, I've said I want to get to 5,000 stitches. So just under 3,000 to put in. I think the detail on that is lovely, and I really love the colours that are being used. I just didn't work on it much last year. This one here is Summer Sampler. This is by Sandy Orton, and you can get this on the Corner Designs website. So I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count even weave over 2, using DMC. And I think I did work on this year, so I put before picture up. This is where we're at now. I really love all the details on this. I'm trying to backstitch as I go, so I've backstitched all of the shells. Not these ones because there's some stitching underneath it. And then I've backstitched this little scene. I think I worked on that scene this year. And then this year my goal is to complete the middle scene with the little boy and girl playing on the beach. So yeah, that's what I plan to do this year. And then the last one in this section is B. The artwork is by Lorna Lane, and this is charted by Gecko Rouge. So I bought this as a kit because you can only buy kits from Gecko Rouge. I did work on it this year. I added 1,134 stitches, so I'm now at 3,618 stitches and 5.56%. I started in the middle because it wasn't symmetrical, or yeah, anyway, yeah, I started in the middle and that's where I got up to. So my goal for this one is to get it to 10%. So yeah, I really enjoy working on this. I have to kind of switch between the colours in the wings and then some of the more vibrant colours, because the colours in the wings are very light and I don't like light stitching. So, but yeah, I want to work on that one a lot more this year. I'm stitching that one with Sharon from Sharon's Crafty Creations. Okay, next up is Sorcerer Mickey. This is a chart by 447 Shades of X Stitch on Etsy. I started this one on the 1st of August 2023, and I'm stitching this with a mixture of CXC and DMC threads, and this is where we got to in 2024. I finished this page here. So my goal for this for 2025, oh, I need a new page, I'm on the next page, is to get it to 10,000 stitches. So I've got to add just under 4,000. I was thinking that this might be a focus on a finish in 2026. I'm not sure though. It's not a massive pattern. We'll see how that goes. Put that back in there. This next one is Tiger Lily Crop. The artwork is by Jerry LaFaro and it's charted by Artisy. You can buy this as a bigger version. I bought the crop. I started this one on the 12th of August 2023, and I'm stitching this one with raw embroidery threads. This year I added 195 stitches, bringing it to 2,257 stitches and 4.70%. And that's where we're at. So my goal for this year is to finish the first page. So I think I've probably done about half of that first page. Okay, tuck that back in there. Okay, this is the last of the montages by Janet Stever. This is Summer Montage. I started this one on the 6th of September 2023. A bit of thread. And this year I added 1,217 stitches, bringing it to 3,090 stitches for 2.09%. And this is where we got up to. So my goal for this one is again to finish the first page. So I think again I'm about halfway done with that page. Oh, scrolling off. This next one, let's make two piles over here, is Autumn in the Village. It's a Stony Creek pattern. I started this one on the 23rd of September 2023. And I did work on it this year. I'm stitching it on a piece of, is this 28 count? I think it's 28 count even weave. We're using DMC threads. It does call for anchor, but I chose DMC, and it does have a couple of speciality threads which I'm also using. So this is where we got up to. So this year I added the tree and started on the next building, and I backstitched all of the pumpkin cart and the lamp. So next year I would like, or in 2025, I would like to finish this building here. Might not have backstitched it, but I definitely want to do all the cross stitch. Okay, this next one is going to be a restart for me, and I'll explain why. This is Hoity Toity by Long Dog Samplers. I started this one on the 30th of September 2023, and I started it on a piece of, I think this is 32 count even weave, using all of the called for DMC. And I got it back out again in just before Christmas, I think. And I do really like the colours on it. So this is where we've got up to. I did work on it this year as well. But I like the pinkier version of this. Jan Hicks did a conversion. And I think it was because I was watching Carolyn from Siske Stitch, and she got out her one and she's using the conversion, and I really liked the conversion. Like I said, I do like the colours on this, but I do like the pinkier, greenier version. So this is going to be a restart for me. I bought a piece of 28 count. It's a backwater. I think think this is from Stitchtastic. And then I'm going to be stitching it using raw embroidery threads from my shop. So I'm going to be pulling those when I get out, when I decide to work on this again. And so the idea with this one is to restart it and get up to where I got up to before. Before I decided to restart it, I decided that I wanted to like stitch the rest of that top border. But so if I get that far, that'd be great, but we'll see. So that's that one. This is a beautiful Japanese garden. It's by Rena Cross Stitch on Etsy. I started this one on the 6th of October 2023 and I didn't work on it this year. This is being stitched on a piece of blue 25 count because it does have all of that sky is not stitched. So yeah, that's where we're up to with that. This year I decided that I wanted to finish the first page. So that's the goal for that one. That needs some love this year. Okay, this one is the Mermaids of the Season Stitch Along by Bella Filipina. This is what it's going to look like when it's finished, although I am stitching them individually. So I did work on it this year. This is 28 count even weave, hand dyed by Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics. I believe I already had spring done last year, I think so. And then this year, I've done everything on summer apart from the beading. So I started beading up here. So I've got to do all of the beading on her. Everything's over 2 apart from the skin. I did do the skin 1/1. So the aim with this is I'd like to bead summer and then do all of the stitching on autumn. So I might not bead autumn, but I quite like to stitch autumn. So yeah, this is using all of the called for threads. So it's a mixture of DMC and Krynic. Going to stay, we'll see. This next one is a kit by Dimensions. It's Chickadees in Spring. It's a gold collection petite. I started this one on the 22nd of November 2023 and I'm using all the kit materials. So it's 16 count Dove Grey, Ada and all of the kit floss, and this is where we were up to at the moment. So I have worked on this year, so you should have seen a before photo. And the goal is to finish this year. So there's still quite a bit to do, but I do think it's doable. So yeah, that's what we're doing with that. Okay, this one is a Mirabilia. It's Nightingale. I started this one on the 25th of November 2023 with my friend Becky. I'm stitching this one on a piece of hand-dyed fabric by Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics, and I'm using all of the called for threads. I did work on this year, so I'll put a before picture up. And this is where I've got to. So I've sort of worked up to where her body starts. So I've put down that I would like to stitch, I'll stitch her head and body this year, just to give it some anchor. Yeah, so that's what I'd like to do this year. So yeah, I really love it on this fabric. Okay. Oh, the chart's stuck. Okay, and then the last one in this section is also going to be a restart of sorts. I'll explain why in a second. Oh god, I can't open this zip. There we go. This is a kit by Dimensions. It's Oriental Splendor. I started this one on the 2nd of December 2023, and I've restarted it, and now I'm going back to the original one. So I'll show you. Originally I started it on the kit fabric, and I just managed to do that top corner. But this is quite stiff Ada, and I didn't have nerge hoops at the time, and I was finding it really hard to fit it in a Q-snap. So I bought a piece of 28 count like ivory. Hold on. What is this? Yeah, I bought a piece of 28 count ivory even weave, and I started in the middle. But I should have cut this fabric down because it is far too big. I don't know which way up this goes. I think it goes up that way. I don't know whether I worked on it this year. No, I haven't. And I've been thinking about it, and I thought, no, what I'm going to do is unpick these stitches eventually, and I'm going to start, and I'm going to carry on with this. So I'm going to call it a restart. So my goal for this one is to restart it on the kit fabric and stitch it to 5%. I do have a saga file for this one, so I can track where I am with my stitches. So yeah, I'll use this for something else. Okay, that's the next section done. Okay, we're getting there. About halfway through, or just over halfway through, I don't know. Anyway, this next one is Christmas mugs. It's by Shannon Christine Designs. It was her Christmas club stitch along last year, and I started this one on the 20th of the 12th 2023, and I worked on this in just before Christmas, and I decided that this is going to be a restart. So I wanted to get the second mug done, and this is how far I got with it. Let's just fold that over. This is a piece of 32 count, what is it? It's like a gold sparkle material, and I've made a mistake somewhere in this white, which means that it's not matching up. The border isn't matching up, and I cannot for the life of me find where this mistake is. And the thing about this fabric is that it is really hard to see the holes, maybe because it's got the sparkle in it, but I was finding it so difficult even with my brightest light on, and I wasn't enjoying it. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to buy a new piece of material, and I'm going to restart it. So I bought a piece of 32 count grey Zweigart even weave, and I'm going to be stitching it on that. The mock-up is in grey anyway, so yeah, I just think it's going to be more enjoyable, and I'm going to want to stitch on it. And like I said, for the life of me, I just could not find where this mistake was. I've got piles falling down, and I just became so disillusioned with it, and I love the design. So yeah, that one's going to be restarted. I quite like to restart and stitch the first mug and perhaps the second. I'm going to have to adjust that goal, because that was like a last minute change. But anyway, everything else that I'm going to talk to you about now, I started in 2024, so there won't be any before photos. This one is Oriental Beauty. This is my New Year New Start last year. So it's by Joan Elliott, and this is what it's going to look like. I started this on a piece of 28 count hand-dyed linen by Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics, and I'm using Royal Broidery threads. And this is where I got to. When I fold it over, I don't think you're going to be able to see all of it. Just about. There you go. So that's where we got to. So I think I did like 3 rotations on this, and I really enjoyed it. So the goal with this one is to oh, she's not on here. Oriental Beauty is not on here. That's very strange. Is she on my is she on my Goodreads? Not my Goodreads, my Good Notes. No. Oh God, I've completely missed her off. So I don't know what goal. I would like to, I think I said I would like to stitch her face and then do all of the back stitch, or finish what's in the halo. I'm not 100% sure. I definitely do want to do all the back stitch on the stuff that I've done so far, and then I want to make a start on her. So yeah. I'm going to have to add that. Let me write that down somewhere. Where can I write it down? Post-it note. Oriental Beauty goal. I will have to add that in. It's a bit silly. I had it on a piece of note paper to begin with, so maybe when I transferred it over I just missed it off. I'm not really sure. Okay. This one is Little Dreamer. It's by Anna Olchitskaya. Probably butchered that. This is what it's going to look like when it's finished. I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count even weave, so it's 2/2, and I think I'm using DMC. I don't know the percentage that I'm at the moment. I do have a Saga file for this, but I haven't. This is when I was new to Saga, and so I didn't really update it. So this is where we're at the moment. And I've put on here that I would like to finish this year. This is a project for Bella, so I'm not very far into it, but I think I've got to do like 1,500 stitches or something like that a month. I can't remember. Yeah. So that is going to be hopefully finished this year. And get back in there. Okay, this one I started with Laura from I Stitch Birds. She's a bit further along than me, but this is Forest Stream, and it's by Svetlana Cross Stitch, and it is full coverage, and it does have some back stitch in there as well. It's really pretty. I started this on a piece of 28 count white even weave, and again I'm using raw embroidery threads. Got like bits of thread hanging off. And this is where I got up to. So I started top middle and I'm working my way down. And this one, I have said that I want to get to 20%. I don't know what sort of percentage I'm at the moment, but yeah. So we get to 20% on that. Again, I've got a saga file for that. Right, this one is January Cottage. It's by Country Cottage Needleworks. I started this one on the 20th of January this year. Not this year, last year. In 2024. And this is how far I got with it. There you go. So I was using this as a travel project, so when I took Bella dancing, but I said in my finishes video I chat to my friend now so I don't get any cross stitch done. So this is going to be a finish this year. That's stitched on the called for 28 count Landswool linen, and it's using all of the called for threads apart from the DMC is raw embroidery. This is the British Birds stitch along. It's by Leslie Thiers. I probably have a better picture I could put up here because it is a completed stitch along now, so we now have all 12 parts. It started in January last year. I started it on the 22nd of the 1st, 2024. I believe this is DMC that I'm using. And this is a piece of, is it 28 or 32? 32 count vintage blue, I think. It's a printed fabric. So it's not particularly big. So I've done the first part. So my goal for next year is to finish the top row of birds. Yeah. I do really like it. It's quite a lot of colour changes, and then you've got backstitch and French knots in there as well. I should print out a new picture for that. This is the Spring Sampler by Sandy Orton. I started this one on the 3rd of February 2024 with my friend Izzy from Instagram. We need to start the autumn and the winter ones this year. I hand dyed my own piece of fabric for this one, which I'm really proud of. It's a bubblegum pink colour. And I'm stitching this in raw embroidery threads. So that's how far we got with this. And I would like to finish the spring bits this year. A load of colour changes and lots of back stitch in this one, but it looks fabulous. So yeah, that is that one. This one is Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. Again, I'll have to put a picture up here. This is the second time I'm stitching this, but this time I'm stitching it for my mum. This is on a piece of 32 count white linen, and I'm using DMC 3608 and 33. And this is how far I have got with it. So I've finished the first 6 parts. I've got the other half to go. I started on the 7th block, but didn't get very far. So this one is going to be a finish this year. I'm going to do a block a month for the first 6 months of the year. Yeah. Did I say I started that one on the 7th of March 2024? So I just didn't stitch on it from August all the way up to the end of the year. So I really should only have 2 blocks left on that, but I just, yeah, wasn't in the mood to stitch on it, so I didn't. What's that one? Next up is Maidens of the Seasons Part 1 by Mirabilia. I started this on the 22nd of March 2024. And I am stitching these separately, so I do have the other pattern as well. So I started with spring. I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count even weave in the colour, does it say on here? Marbled Rose by Pole Stitches. And I'm using all of the called for DMC beads, Krynic. And this is how far I have got. So yeah, this fat half of this fabric, I've got a fat half for the other 2 patterns, so I am going to be stitching them separately. I really love the way that she's coming out. I love this fabric. So yeah. My goal for her, what did I write down for Maidens of the Seasons? Is to finish stitching her head and torso and bring more of the border down. So far I've only worked on this at retreats, so it would be nice to work on this at home as well. Let's put that there, so I think that's going to fall down. And then the last one in this section is Kakeshi Dolls by Joan Elliott. This was a pattern in the World of Cross Stitching magazine, issue 200. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I started this one on the 24th of March 2024, and this is a piece of 32 count hand dyed even weave from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics. It's like a purple colour with some pink in it, and I'm using raw embroidery threads, and that's how far I got. So my goal for this year is to finish this first doll. Yeah, I didn't pick her up again. I stitched on her for like 1 day. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back to that. Okay, that's the next section done. Let's reset again. We're back. Next section. This is Tulip Egg. It's artwork by Anders Eisman, and it's charted by the Cross Stitch Studio. I started this one on the 25th of March 2024 with Siske from Siske Stitches. I'm stitching it on a piece of 25 count pink even weave, and I'm using raw embroidery threads. Oh no, hold on, this is DMC. I started in the middle and I did 3,351 stitches, and it's at 3.23%. So this is where we got to. So the goal for this one is to get it to 6%. So I need to do another 3,000 stitches or so, I think. That's that one. This next one is a kit. I started it for all the kits April with my friend Marianne on Instagram. It's Victorian Charm by Dimensions, and I'm stitching this using all the kit materials. So it's an 18 count like navy Ada, and then all of the threads. And I started in the middle. I don't know which way up it is. I think it's this way. Let's just turn that over so you can see. And that is where we got to. It's blowing out because, yeah, it's so dark. So the goal for this one is to finish the current story of the house. So where I started in the middle, did I start with that one? Yeah, I think I started on this one here. So I'd like to finish this story of the house. It might be quite a lot of stitching. Yeah. I found it difficult to work on the navy Ada, so I bought myself a light box. And I haven't tried stitching on it since I got that, so I'll have to see how that goes. This is another kit that I started. I'm stitching this with my friend Megan on Instagram. This is Kingdom of Books by Andriana. The kit, you can buy this kit in the UK from My Bobbin, from Marie's Cross Stitch, or you can buy it from mybobbin.com. I changed the fabric, but I am stitching it with the kit threads. So this is a piece of 28 count hand dyed even weave that I did a custom order for from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics, with the idea that I wouldn't stitch the background, and I don't know whether I've stitched something here that I shouldn't have done, but we'll see. I just wanted to do a bit of a shadow. That's where we've got to. And I've put down here that I'd like to stitch the half of the first book, so I get to here. This one is Stained Glass Butterfly. It's by Pink Lily Patterns. I started this on the 14th of April 2024 with my friend Ebony from In Stitches with Ebony. This is what it's going to look like when it's done. I've done 1,010 stitches and it's 0.50%, and I'm stitching this with raw embroidery floss. And that's where we've got up to. So that one, my goal is to get to 5,000 stitches. Then I did my month of, I'm going to do a new start every day for my 40th birthday. I didn't quite do a new start every day, and of course I've still got some on the list. I did finish some, but This is a kit by Water Designs. It's called High Heel Farm. And I saw my friend Sharon stitching this on Instagram, and it's not, you wouldn't think it would be my style, but I really liked it. So I'm using all the kit materials. So it's a 16 count cream Ada, and it's all of the kit threads. And that's how far we've got. So I've put down here that I would like to stitch the path, the orange bushes and the tree. So if I just show you what that looks like. So this path here, the orange bushes here, and this tree. I want to get that done. This one is Mini New Solar System. It's artwork by Adrian Chesterman and it's charted by Artsy. I started this one on the 3rd of May 2024 and I have stitched 802 stitches for a total of 2.88%, and I'm using raw embroidery threads for this. And let's just turn this over. This is where we have got to. It's really lovely. I love the colours. And this is the full coverage that I'm going to be finishing this year. So it's going to be a present for my husband. So I'm going to be splitting it up just like I did with Quick Stitch Tranquil Tulip last year. And I believe I'm going to be stitching about 2,500 stitches a month in order to get that done. This one I started on the 4th of May 2024. This is Celtic Autumn by Lavender and Lace. So this is what the original looks like, although I'm not stitching that one. I need to print off a thing of this as well. So I'm going to put a picture up on the screen of what it's actually going to look like. Celtic Autumn. Just making myself a note. I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count hand dyed fabric by Kate at Sparkly's. It was a fabric of the month last year and I'm using DMC, and this is how far I got. So what I would like to do this year is I would like to stitch the first bit of this dress and then continue on some of the border. This one here is Ariel in the Bottle. It's by Victoria Ivchenko. And I started this on the 5th of May last year. I'm using raw embroidery threads, and this is a piece of 28 count hand dyed even weave from Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics. And this is where we got to. So I just started in the middle on her hair. So this one, I'd like to get to 15%. I don't know what percentage I'm at the moment. I haven't written that down, but I'd like to get it to 15%. It's a bit brighter than, the fabric's a bit brighter than it is what's showing on camera. It's a bit more of a light blue. It's showing a bit dark on there. Ooh, upside down. Okay. This one is Quaker Geometric Puzzle by Ink Circles. I started this on the 6th of May 2024. This is on a piece of 32 count white linen and I'm using all of the DMC threads. this is where we got up to. And this one I've written down that I'd like to stitch the first corner of motifs. So, oh, told me my Apple pencil is running low. I'm not using it. So perhaps this bit here. Yeah. And then the last one for this section is Japanese Moss Garden Mandala. It's by Sharon. And I started this one on the 11th of May 2024. I'm stitching this on a piece of 28 count even weave, hand dyed by Kayli at the sewing shop. And I'm using all of the called for threads and beads. So it's a big piece of fabric. I don't know, it's obviously big enough, but I don't know how much I'm going to use of it. And I started in the middle, and that's where we're at. And with this one, I would like to completely finish, including beading, because I'm stitching this in hand, this centre blue motif, which is not much, but yeah. Okay, and I'm going to go and reset for the last section of projects. Okay, we're on the last section of projects. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 left to go. So I was right at 59 projects. So this is Supersize Max Colour, The Grand Library. Artwork is by Amy Stewart and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. I have quite a few of these shelves. I have 2 started now. It's stitched using Royal Broidery threads. I started in the middle because I wanted to start with that chair. And this year I have stitched 2,263 stitches and I'm at 0.32%. So because I started in the middle, this is, I have to unwrap the whole fabric in order to show you where I'm at. Just turn that over. Gosh, there's so much fabric. Where is it? Okay, is this the top? Yeah, I feel like it is. So that is where we've got to. So yeah, you can just, this is like the fireplace and you can just start seeing the outline of the chair. I did work on this in December as well. So try and fold this up again. So the goal for this one is to get it to 5,000 stitches. So I've got to stitch just under 3,000 stitches. Okay. Oh yeah, it's a job folding that up. Put that back in there. Okay. This one I started on the 13th of May 2024. This is a kit by Luca S called the King of Flowers. I don't know what that was. It was a noise. I couldn't know. I'm using all the kit materials. And I did get sent a Pattern Keeper PDF. So I put it in. I just haven't put in my progress yet. So I think it's this way up. I started in the middle. Someone put something through the door again. So that's where we're at. And I've put that I want to get this to 5% because I've got the Pattern Keeper file. I don't know what percentage I'm on at the moment, but we'll work that out when we get it out. This one is Happy Halloween. It's by Autumn Lane Stitchery. I got the pattern out of Just Crop Stitch magazine, the Halloween 2021 issue, but you can buy this off of their website. I started this on the 18th of May 2024. I'm using a piece of 32 count even weave hand dyed by Megan at Coffee Craft Fabrics, and I'm using raw embroidery threads. This is my starting point, and I've put down that I want to finish this year, so this is going to be one of my finishes. So yeah, I think a rotation a month I've put down basically. This one I hardly made any progress on at all. I started this on the 28th of May 2024. It's Butterflies in Flowers by Doreen Jones. I got this off of her, well, it's upside down. Got this off of her Etsy shop. I can't find it in there at the moment, but if you message her, you might be able to get it. And this is how far I got. Not very far at all. So I've put down for this one that I'd like to finish or stitch the first curved corner. So this bit here, I want to get that bit done. It's not a particularly big pattern. It doesn't say on here how big it is. I can't remember how big it is. But yeah, I should be able to do that. I don't think it's in Pattern Keeper, so I don't have a percentage. Okay, this one here, I started on the 29th of May 2024. It is Flowers of the Month by Ellen Moira Stroh. You can find this as a free pattern on her website. And I'm stitching them separately. So I started with January. This is a piece of 32 count linen from Zweigart, and I'm using raw embroidery threads, and I changed the pattern to include the month and the type of flower that it was. So yeah, January Carnation, and that's where I got up to. So my goal for this one is to finish January. Okay, I have 4 projects left. This one is the Frozen section of the Epic Storybook Princesses from Clouds Factory. I started this one on the 18th of July 2024. I'm stitching on a piece of 28 count blue even weave. And this is how far I got. So my goal is to finish this year, and I'm stitching this in raw embroidery threads. Put it back here, it's blowing it out a little bit. Yeah, that one's for my daughter. Then we have Otono. Maybe I'm pronouncing that correctly, I don't know. It's by Satsuma Street. I'm stitching this one with my friend Alison. I'm doing it on a piece of 28 count, I think this is. Yeah, even weave. Using all of the called for, well, the variegated DMC, I'm using DMC, and then the normal colour threads, I'm using raw embroidery. So that's how far I got. And I'd like to finish the top row of squares this year. Okay, this one is An Enchanted Place. It's artwork by Eda Jose Rosa, and it's charted by Stitches So Beautiful. And I'm stitching this with Dawn Marie from DM's Crafty Vortex and Ebony from In Stitches with Ebony. And I stitched 1,367 stitches, and it's at 1.44%. And I'm doing this with AMO floss. And that's how far we got. It's really pretty. It's got a lovely watercolour effect to it, which I love. And the goal for this one is to get it to 5%. Yep. Okay, and this is the last WIP. WIP number 59. This is another kit. This is by Dimensions. It's called Parisian Bicycle, and I started this with my friend Sarah. I think it's her Flosstube cross stitch Sarah. Anyway, I will link all these people down below. I'm using all of the kit materials. So it came with 14 count light green Ada, and then all of the pull 4 threads. And I think it's this way. This is where we got to. I think it's that way. Oh yeah. So yeah, this one I've got a saga farm for now, and I'd like to get it to 6%. I don't know what the percentage is at the moment. Okay, and we're done. I have no idea how long this video is because I've stopped and started it, and I've got loads of cutting out to do of me having sneezing fits and things like that. I hope it wasn't too... Yeah, I'm hoping when I watch this back, when I edit it, I'm not going to be like, oh God, you sound so awful. But I really wanted to film it today because, like I said, Stefan has especially taken Bella out today so I could do it. And it just would have taken me a while to get back around to it. And, you know, I like doing it early on in the year so that I've got that starting point. Yeah, so hopefully it's going to be okay. Thank you all so much for watching. I know that there are loads of WIP parades around at the moment, and you know, I've got a watch later list full of them, and it's great. I love watching WIP parades, but there are so many out there, so I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch mine. If you have any questions about any of the projects that I've mentioned, about anything I've talked about today, please leave them in the comments down below. I'm going to be back hopefully sort of like halfway through January, I think, with like a regular update. I do have some finishes to show you, a little bit of haul, and then hopefully some progress on my goals so far. So yeah. Yeah, I want to wish you all a happy new year again. I hope you get in lots of stitchy time, and I will see you soon. Bye.